Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is LaJoya. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. Don't forget to like and comment at the end of the video. But this video, I want to talk about, I was reading in Genesis chapter 37 and chapter 39, and it's about Joseph. And if you know the story about Joseph, how his brothers sold him for some silver to be a slave because they didn't like him. They were jealous of him because he had gifts and all that. And Joseph was, a son of, his father and his mother was old, like I think well in age. They were old, and he was gifted. He was really gifted. His brothers didn't like him, and all he wanted to do was fit in with his brothers. He wanted to love his brothers, and he wanted to be loved by his brothers, but it didn't turn out that way. And I know that we often go through, things in life where, we're like, what is going on, Lord? So when Joseph got sold by his own brothers, I know he was probably like, what the heck why am I going through this? I had never done nothing wrong to them. It's not my fault that I have these gifts. It's not my fault that our father favors me more than you guys. It's not my fault. And not knowing when Joseph left that day to go look for his brothers, that was going to be the last time he's seen his dad or mother. So when they sold him to be a slave for some silver, I could just only imagine how his heart, how he felt. He was broken. And I'm pretty sure he questioned God too. Like, Lord, where are you in this? Like, what is going on? And oftentimes we go through things and we always look for God. We feel like God is not there. We feel like, okay, Lord, why am I going through this? Where are you at? Like, I need you. Like, this is the time that I need you to kind of like intervene in this situation. I know Joseph probably was like, Lord, you need to save me. Why are you allowing them to do this? And it didn't stop there with Joseph. He was sold, and that he was a slave, but to only get there, and I think he was this master, I think his name was Potiphar. He took notice of Joseph, and he thought Joseph was smart, intelligent. So he told Joseph, come on in, and you don't have to work out here no more in the heat. You could work inside in my house and just do things for me. And so I'm pretty sure Joseph was happy about that, but still kind of sad. Like, I lost my family. But to go in there and to start a new life, and to only turn around and his master's wife comes on to him, and then he was accused of raping her. So they throw Joseph in prison. So I know Joseph now, he's like, not only did I get sold, but now I'm in prison. Lord, what is going on? And often we do that. We get hit, we get blow after blow after blow. And we're like, God, I need you to do something. Like, I need you right now. Like, why am I going through this? And so sometimes God puts us through situations to build character, to build leadership, to build strength, because we lack those things sometimes. And Joseph didn't know what was at the end of the tunnel. He didn't know. We only could see so far. We can see down the road, but we can't see around the corner, but God can. And sometimes God allows us to go through some things, and we may not understand. We're like, why? Why am I going through this heavy burden right now? Why do I have to go through this? And he didn't know that later on, though, that, he didn't know what was to come. So he went through it, and he was, sold by his brothers, accused of rape, sat in prison for a few years, but God still had his hand on Joseph. God still was favoring him, because Joseph ended up being the leader in the prison. He ended up being the head of the prison. I guess they appointed him the leader over the other prisoners. So God was still favoring him in the process, but still, who wants to be in prison the whole time? And sometimes, like I said, we go through stuff and we're like, I don't, if I didn't do it, why do I have to suffer? Why do I have to suffer these things? We don't know how God works. God works in mysterious ways. And we sometimes we question God. Lord, what, really? Did I do something? And you start reflecting over your life, like, okay, did I do this? Did I mistreat somebody? What did I do? Because I'm like, this is bad. I'm going through it. And to know that you don't feel God, we often don't feel God's presence. And when we don't feel God's presence, we feel lost. We feel like, we just feel so lost. I know I do sometimes when I feel like I don't feel his presence, but I know he's there. But sometimes when you don't feel him, you look for him. Like, Lord, where are you at? I need you. But we go through things, like I said, we go through things for God to build us, to build, like I said, character and, sometimes personality. We got to go through some things, and not knowing what so just trusting God, trusting the process, trusting what God has for you. And that's why too, you have to be careful who you mistreat. Be careful who you mistreat, because God will put you in front of, he will sit your enemies right in front of you. He will sit you in front of that person you done dirty. He will sit you right in front of them and allow you to watch their success. So we have to be careful who we mistreat, who we, look over, who we dog out, who we talk about. We have to be careful how we treat people, because later on down the road, Joseph ended up being, the head over Egypt, appointed the ruler over Egypt. And so later on, his brothers, there was like a drought or something without food. So his brothers traveled way far away to go get food. And they didn't know that Joseph was still alive. They thought Joseph was dead, and to know when they seen Joseph as the head and just imagine how they felt, like, oh my God, I thought he was dead and he's alive. We sold him, but he's on top. So you have to be careful messing with God's chosen, honey. When you are chosen, when God chooses you, you might go through hell. You might go through the ringers and back. But when it's your point in time, when God says, let it be, and he allows you to flourish in life, believe me, you may not see it at that moment, at that time, but if you stick in there and trust God, if you trust God through it all, I'm telling you, Joseph, even though he was confused, he still trusted God. And because he trusted God, look, he ended up being the ruler. He ended up being the ruler over Egypt. People were bowing down to Joseph. He was in that position. So I just made this video because I thought it was an interesting story. I love the story. And the story just shows how you have to treat people good, because you never know. You might see them at the top one day and you might need them. You might need that person that you talked about. You might need that person. You might need some food one day. You might need something to drink, and that person has it. The person that you talked about, the person that you mistreated, be careful who you mistreat, because God he will make it a point that you see them one day and you need them one day. So you have to be careful. And you, not only that, trust God. Like I said, trust the process, because we may seem like we're going through hell, but God knows exactly what we are about, what we're facing. And he's just building us. He's making us into what he created us to be from the get. So we have to trust that process and trust God and say, Lord, your will be done in this. Lord, I don't see what's going on. I'm lost, Lord. I don't know why I'm going through this, but you know what, Lord? You know what's best for me. And because you know what's best for me, and you never led me astray, because you know what's best for me, I trust you, Lord. And so you have to trust him, because in the end, he will make a way, and you gonna look up, and sometimes I'm telling you, it talks about that in the Bible. You know how you gotta he'll set your enemies at the table with you. He will sit them right there. You gotta be careful, very careful who you mistreat and talk about, because God will sit you. He will sit you right there. Like, yeah, this is the one that you talked about. This is the one that you threw his name or threw her name out there. And now look, you may need them one day. So be kind-hearted and trust God in the process, because Joseph's brothers were very jealous of him. They was envious. They hated him. And Joseph was a sweet boy. He had a gift that God gave him. He didn't ask for that gift, but he really went through. He went through it and he suffered because of the gifts he had. And that's often in us. God, we're chosen. And sometimes the chosen ones, we go through a lot. We go through a lot. We have to go through more than the other ones. I'm telling you. But it's for a reason. It's for a reason. And God is good. God is so good. So I wanted to bring you guys this video. It was a quick little video, but I just wanted to kind of shed some light on this little message with Joseph. Y'all can go and read it you guys yourself. Like it's like I said, it's Genesis 37, chapter 37 and chapter 39. It's a good story. It's a great story. You probably already read it, but if you haven't, yes, go check it out. But until then, you guys, be blessed. I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. And please, 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 keep supporting me, and praying for me. And thank you again for getting me through, you guys get me through these moments, believe it or not. I love you guys, and I'm just so grateful for you guys. And until then, I'll be bringing you guys another video soon. All right, take care. God bless. Bye.